going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today in this video, as you can see by the title, we are going to be installing the Rough Country 4-gang switch panel for all 2007 through 2018 Jeep Wrangler JK and Jeep Wrangler JKUs. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, right here in front of me, as you can see, we've got the Rough Country box that has the 4-gang switch panel in it. Now, I'm going to bring you guys closer so we can go ahead and unbox this product, talk about it a little bit, and then we can jump straight into the installation. All right, so you guys are not going to really see me that much, but you are going to see me unbox this. That's all I really care about at this point right here. So when we open the box, first thing that we see is all of the stickers that we can customize the buttons on the switch panel for. And I'll show you which ones we're going to be using today for this video, but you get a bunch of them if you want to interchange them or just have a set amount that you want to use. So that's pretty cool. Set that aside. We have the complete colored and pictured instruction manual. If you guys don't want to follow along with this video, you guys can just do this instruction manual here. Next, we've got the fuse box itself. This is a metal housing with a plastic top. We pop the top off of this, and this is where you're going to wire your individual accessories to. There's 4 different ports, 4 different fuses. So that way the fuses will blow before your accessories do. That's a really nice box there. We'll set that aside right here. Next up, looks like we've got an intermittent switch. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Looks like it's got a little cover on it if you wanted to take it off and turn off the switch so the switch doesn't have any power going to it, which is really nice. Really simple design there. Pretty cool. Next up, we got the bread and butter of the installation here. This is going to be the switch itself, and look at that, guys. That is really, really nice. Really nice clicks on those as well. Looks like it's got a mode button and, of course, power button as well. I'm going to set that aside for now. All right, next up, we've got some wiring here for the switch itself. Looks like we've got some sort of a gasket or cover for the switch itself. This is our mounting bracket for the switch panel. It comes with all the hardware you need. And it looks like it comes up with a fuse pick and extra fuses, which is awesome. Love that. I'm not really sure what this is. This looks like some sort of a sticky mounting solution if you wanted to use a sticky mounting solution other than the mounting bracket here. Looks like we've got zip ties, which is also always a nice way to install it. Looks like we've got a Phillips head screwdriver by Rough Country, which is really nice. And that looks to be it, guys. So let's go ahead. Well, actually, nope, that is not it. My bad. And we've got more wiring harnesses here. This is all the wiring that you need for, I'm guessing, the fuse panel, the cutoff switch, and to your batteries. And also, we have a mounting bracket here. This is a mounting bracket for the fuse panel here alongside the switch, I do believe. And I don't know where this mounting bracket goes, but we'll figure that out together. All right, guys, so coming over to the Jeep, I think I found where I'm going to put my bracket. Now, this is just loosely installed right here. It's not even installed at all. It's being held up by the wire for the positive terminal on the battery. I disconnected this so I can get pretty good access to it. But this is, I think, where I'm going to put my bracket for the circuit breaker. That way, I don't have to make new wiring to go to the battery. Yes, this is all a giant big speck of wiring. It's going to be cleaner after I'm finished installing this, I do believe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to go ahead and run some self-tapper screws through the firewall and the bracket and the base for the battery box and secure my bracket to its final location. All right, guys, so we got our battery back installed and we've got our new bracket in place. I think this is going to work perfectly. This is a permanent solution for now for me, but later on in the future, I'm going to be rearranging this whole area for the battery situation, if that gives you guys any hint on to the future. Now, our next step that we need to do, we need to go back over to the table and grab our next step for this installation. All right, guys, so our next step here is we're gonna take our fuse box. We're gonna pull the lid off by undoing this little clip right here. You push it in and pull it off. So they give you these holes right here on this side of the fuse panel. We're going to take our wiring, which is going to be our short red wire, and our black wire, and we're going to feed them through the bottom side of our board here, like so. Okay, well, there it goes. And we're going to attach our wires to the appropriate location. So, for example, if you're looking at it like this, this is your negative, this is your positive, and this connector right here is where the connector, the white connector there, for the actual switch itself is going to go. So we're gonna go ahead and connect these now, and I'll see you guys here in a bit. All right, guys, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our board here and run the wires through the hole on the bracket and set this into place. Now you need to decide where on the bracket itself that you wanna mount the board. So there's these 3 sections here on each side of the bracket, and it lets you pick how far out that you want or how tucked in you want it. I'm gonna put it on the most outer part of the bracket, and I'm gonna go ahead and secure that into its location. All right, guys, so the circuit board is on the bracket. Now, as you guys can see, I did not connect the switch wiring harness just yet. That is going to be the next thing that I do here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step. All right, so the next piece you want to grab is your brake switch or circuit brake switch. And all this does is let you manually reset the switch itself by clicking this button. And then you can turn it back to reset. So it comes with that little plastic cover. Just remove that and find you a suitable location where you would like to mount this. Obviously you want to mount it close to the board here, so you can either mount it on top of your fuse box here, or you can mount it somewhere next to the battery. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this to this part here of the battery tray. It's going to be a little bit difficult to mount it, but that's okay. I'm going to try and mount it right there the best way I can. That way, if I mount it like that, all I got to do is come in here and click that button and we'll be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and install it there. If you guys want to install it on top of the fuse box panel here or the cover here, make sure if you use screws not to accidentally screw into some fuse on the inside of the box here. So if you're going to use screws, use a short screw and take this cover off when you go to install it, or you can use a double-sided sticky tape, or you can use Velcro, or however you want to mount it, you can mount it, but just make sure if you use screws to not impact the actual fuse box itself, or you're going to be in a world of hurt. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mount mine where I said I'm going to mount it, and I'll see you guys here in just a moment. All right, so I got my circuit breaker installed. I got 1 screw in there so I can move it around a little bit while I'm hooking up my wires. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the positive that is run from the board here and run it to one of the looms or one of the connectors on the breaker. Then we're going to take the other supplied positive wire and take that and run it from another connector on the breaker to the positive side of the battery. But first, let's go ahead and hook up the positive side of the board to the breaker, and then we'll connect the other end of one end of this to the breaker as well. Let's go ahead and do that now. All right, we got the circuit breaker all hooked up. It's not hooked up to power just yet. That's going to be one of the final things we do. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to hook up our main switch wiring harness. Now, this wire here we'll talk about a little bit later. We're not going to worry about it right now. The main part we're going to worry about is the actual connector for the switch. So this connector goes right here on the board itself. We'll need to plug that in and wire it through the holes back here and back out the side. So I'm going to take this wire and do that, but as I'm doing that, I'm gonna also route the wiring, which is all this black wiring harness here. I'm gonna wire it all the way over to the driver's side of my Jeep and feed it through the firewall access hole, which is down in here somewhere. That's where my main power wire for my subwoofer is going. And I hope to God that there's enough of that power wire or enough of this wire harness here to go to the back of the switch, because my plan is I'm gonna run it through this hole here, which will come to the inside of the Jeep. Underneath here, you can kind of see where those wires go. Run it up here through my A-pillar, because I'm gonna mount my switch right there above my rear view mirror. Now, what I might have to do is, if I don't have enough, which I'll decide here in a moment, is mount it right here above my speaker on the driver's side, which might be a better solution, but we'll see. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll show you guys what I decide to do. All right, guys, so as you can see, I've got that wire ran all the way over and I already zip tied it up and out of the way. And it's ran through the firewall into the Jeep here, and it comes out underneath there, and I've got it ran into my seat right now. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough to go all the way up top above the rear view mirror, which is where I want it. I might have to put it right here, but that's okay. It will cover up this hole. But I don't know yet. So what I'm gonna try and do is I'm going to go ahead and route it up through here, through the A-pillar. I'm gonna have to take the top off of the Jeep just to get it up underneath there all the way to here and see if it's going to work. Now, let's go over here for a second, back over to our table. I wanted to show you guys something really quickly. There is a little slack on the switch itself to extend the wire a little bit. Not much, but it might be enough to exactly where we want to put it. And here's the mounting bracket here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the Jeep and route it to where I actually want it, up there above the rear view mirror, and then we'll come back and see if I actually can mount it right there, and we'll continue on with the video. All right, so I got my wire, ran up the A-pillar here, and I unpopped this part to the top of the dash or top of the board here, and my wire comes out exactly where I need it to be. Now that's perfect, exactly where I want it. Y'all run it exactly where you want to run it to, but this is where I have most access to, is right above the rear view mirror. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to drill a hole somewhere underneath here on the board or on the plastic somewhere, so I can feed this wire through and connect my switch. But let me go ahead and drill a hole real quick and mount my bracket for the switch panel, and then we can move on from there. Okay, so here's our mounting bracket here. This end here, where my finger's running along, is what goes on the back side of the switch, whereas the bigger part here is what gets mounted to whatever you want it to mount to. So I'm going to put mine, like I said, up there underneath. Basically what it's going to look like is it's going to sit right there, pretty much is exactly how it's going to sit. So I'm going to go ahead and screw my holes with some self-tapping screws and get the bracket mounted into place. And there we have it, guys. I drilled a little hole right there to feed my wires through. It's all plugged up back there, and I tightened down the little screws on the side to get it all tight and spaced. Does it wobble? No, not much. But it's fully in, it's secured. It's not plugged up to power yet, but that's the official spot that I wanted it. It looks great. I think it looks really good right there. All right, so let's go back on the outside of the Jeep and tidy things up from there. All right, guys, so the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna connect our negative from the board to the negative port on the battery, and then our positive from the circuit breaker to the positive port on the battery. Let's go ahead and do that now. All right, guys, so we're connected to power. Next, this power wire here. Now, this wire is to go to a fuse that is for accessory power. So when you turn your key over to accessory power and your Jeep is running, not the motor's not running, but the accessory power on the key switch is running, that means your lights will work. I'm not gonna hook mine up like that, so I can put this back on top of there. What I'm gonna do is I want mine to be able to run with the Jeep off or the Jeep on. So I'm gonna run this to a positive, which is going to be on either the fuse kill switch here or a positive on the battery. So I'm just gonna go ahead and run this to one of those two. That way I can use my off-road lights without starting the Jeep. But you can wire them up however you want. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, now that I've got constant power hooked up to it, I don't have anything to connect to it right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid back on this, make sure the lid for the breaker is covered as well, and go inside the cab and see if we have power. And as you guys can see, we have power. Now, one thing to note when you're hooking up and making this connection here, I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect it really quickly. You can see on the switch cord here, there's a little itty bitty groove right there where my thumb is, right? That groove will fit into the socket. As you can see, there's one little itty bitty thing on the left-hand side there. Once you have those plugged up correctly, you'll have power. I didn't have mine plugged in correctly and I didn't have any power to it. So make sure that this connection is properly hooked up. And as you guys can see, I went ahead and changed the colors on there to purple. And to change the colors, by the way, on here, you're gonna hold down the mode button and hold down one of the switch buttons here at the same time. So we'll do mode, and then we'll hold down this one, let go of both. You'll see the indicator light come on for the mode button. And what you're gonna do is press and hold one of the buttons, and then slowly and surely, it's gonna start to cycle through all the different colors that they have pre-wired or pre-set into the switch. Of course, I want purple because of Project Raptor, so I'm going to set mine to purple, and then you're going to hit it mode again, and there is your set color. Now, you can set this up any way you want, any color you want, of course, and if you don't want any backlighting right now, just hit that mode button and it turns off the backlights, and then as soon as you hit the power button, it turns them back on, which is really nice. And that is the complete installation for the switch panel. And there you have it, guys. That is how you install the Rough Country 4-gang switch panel. If you guys enjoyed the video, if I helped you out in any way, shape, or form, give me a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos like this. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.